Durham Escape Rooms presents Geek right here on Reality Radio 101. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your geeks, Andrew Young and Mr. Green.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Welcome to Geek Hard. I'm your host, Andrew Young. With me is Mr. Green.
Hey, hey.
It's a very special night tonight. It's a holiday in most places. It's Pat Thornton, former guest Pat Thornton's dog's birthday. So happy Chicken Day, everybody. His dog's name is Chicken.
It's named Chicken?
It's named Chicken.
I just thought because he always celebrates with KFC, I thought
No. It's Happy Chicken Day because his dog's birthday. His dog's name is Chicken.
That's a great
That's
name.
the only thing that's happening tonight. It's not any other thing. No.
It's the great. That's a.
Well, there is a celebration that's based on a man who was ripped apart by lions over religious and political persecution, and now people give hearts and flowers to each other. But other than that...
Oh, right. I was thinking St. Patrick for a second because he's the snakes.
He's
right?
the snakes guy. Yeah.
So this is the Lions guy.
Yeah.
So this is Lions Day.
Yeah.
So happy Lions Day, everybody.
you got lions, you got chicken, you got a lot of things to celebrate. There you go.
Yeah, and in March we'll celebrate Snake Day.
There you go.
We're gonna strip all the names and back down what they're really about.
Just get right to the point.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man, yeah, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna get right to the point. We got a great show for you tonight.
We do.
In just a little bit, we're gonna be talking to Kate Drummond, who, of course, she's been in a bunch of stuff.
Like everything.
Yeah, and well, there's a lot of people who know her from the first two seasons of Winona Earp. But she also is in a new show, Utopia Falls, which came to CBC Gem and Hulu today. You can stream all 10 episodes. We're talking to her about that. We're also going to be talking to actor Praneet Akilla, who was in October Faction, which was the Netflix series that started streaming just a few weeks ago. We've had a number of cast members so far. This is our third cast member from October Faction. We're going to get them all.
Yeah.
It's like Pokemon.
It is.
Got to catch all the October Faction cast. But then also, speaking of Netflix, we're also going to be giving a review of Locke Key, which dropped last Friday on the streaming service. So it's TV, and more TV.
Yeah, it's TV all the time. That's how I like it.
I know you do.
I get excited for this stuff.
That's not even a laptop. You're just streaming. Well, that is a that's a tablet that you're streaming TV on the entire time while we're on doing this, isn't it? He refuses to answer that on the grounds that it may incriminate him.
I got nothing to say about that right now.
But this show is brought to you by Durham Escape Rooms. You can find them at 1121 Dundas Street, East Unit 9 in Whitby, and online at durhamescaperooms.com. And you know what you can do at Durham Escape Rooms? You can escape.
That's right. And what better day to escape than on Lions Day? You need to escape the lions.
They don't have a lion's room, though.
That doesn't matter.
They have a speakeasy.
The
they
lions
have a study.
No. The lions are outside, so you escape the outside
into the
escape rooms to get away from the outside. Which is also, let's be honest, it's fuck off cold outside. So let's
there you go.
You know, we got to escape the lions. We got to escape the cold. You know, we got to escape the bears and the
Sending
tigers.
You into the lion's den, PT. Definitely.
Yeah.
There you go.
The jaguar sharks. We got to escape everything.
That's right. But yeah, you should book your escape experience today. Take your family, take your friends, take your enemies. See if you can fix things by working together to escape a room.
Oh, I see. You're going to go the nice route. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you still want to win.
Yeah, well, of course you want to win, but I was like, if you're going to bring your enemy, then some people, it's going to be they're just thinking about offing them in the room. Maybe
no, we don't want that to happen at Durham escape rooms. We want them to stay in business. Okay.
We need a murder mystery escape room.
There we go. I bet you any money that Benito's working on that.
I have a feeling.
Yeah, no, definitely. So check him out, durhamescaperooms.com. But it is going to be a fun night tonight. You know how I know it's going to be a fun night?
How do you, Andrew? Let me ask you a question. How do you know it's going to be a fun night?
Because we just got an email from Geek Hard's biggest fan, Andrea A. Fantastic Friday, geeks. Enjoy whatever escapism floats your boat. Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you very much. That's why. That's how
why?
I know.
There we go.
The hallmark of quality. There you go.
Yeah. Now we know.
Now we know.
And you know what? Knowing is half the battle.
That's right. And now it's time for a commercial break. And when we come back, We're going to be talking to Kate Drummond of Utopia Falls right here, Geek Hard Rad Radio 101.
She saw me for the first time in Columbus. She was with her friends and I was in a tour bus. A few months later, she was wearing my shirt.
Durham Escape Rooms, one of the GTA and Durham region's top escape facilities with 10 games filled with excitement, fun, and thrills as you race the clock to your ultimate victory. Bring your family or friends, celebrate a birthday or first date or an anniversary, or try working together with coworkers during a corporate team building exercise. To make a reservation, visit www.durhamescaperooms.com or call 905-430-LOCK. That's 905-430-5625. Durham Escape Rooms. Can you escape?
Welcome back to Geek Hard right here on Reality Radio 101.
Until I'm overseas on tour and peep this Ethiopian queen from Philly taking classes abroad. She's studying film and photo.
And now, right back to your geeks, Andrew Young and Mr. Green.
Welcome back to Geek Hard. Andrew Young and Mr. Green here.
You know, I looked at the clock for a second, and I was just like, it's 7:30 already.
Yeah, it's like, no, only 7 minutes and 30-something seconds have gone by. But that's good.
My brain just went...
Your brain went, that's right. Well, praise Gaia that it has come back to you.
Yes, praise Gaia.
My friend. You know what? I was thinking about it. If I ever wanted to learn stuff, I'd love it if Snoop Dogg told me all about everything, all of history.
Right?
Yes.
I was like, when I saw the name show up, and I was like, how is this going to work? And then I'm like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah, it's
But I
weird.
like it.
And we'll get into that in just a moment. But before we do, just want to remind you guys that if you like what we do here, you can always support us at Patreon, patreon.com/geekcard. For just as low as $1 a month, you can help us out, bring this great program to you on a weekly basis, and get something in return. Things like advanced access to certain posts, or even the Geek Card Extra podcast at the $4 a month level. What are we talking about this week on the Geek Card Extra, Mr. Green?
Stuff.
Yeah,
it's an in-depth look at stuff.
Oh, were we talking about the early 2000s magazine? You know,
that stuff?
that stuff?
No, I was actually thinking about the 80s horror movie
Oh,
stuff.
the stuff.
The stuff.
There we go. So it's an all stuff extra at $4 a month.
You could
That's
listen
great.
to us 80s horror and 90s, early 2000s men's magazines.
Yeah, there we go. That's the plan.
Non-nude magazines.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
That kind of men's magazine.
That kind of men's
Although
magazine.
technically there are some other magazines aimed at men, that are not.
I remember years ago they had the Mojo Radio, and there was like talk radio for guys, and I'm like, you do know that, especially at that time, you do know that the talk radio audience 90% is male. So why are you like talk radio for guys? It's like that's just talk radio. All right.
I just honestly.
Well, we're not here to talk about talk radio or men's magazines.
I think we
2000s.
are about talk radio a little bit.
We're talk radio. We're podcasting. We're all the different types of audio mediums that don't involve music. But you know what involves music?
What's that?
Utopia Falls.
Yes,
which
it does.
Just hit the old Hulu and the old CBC Gem today. A 10-episode
Lions
series.
Day.
Yes, on Lions Day, on Chicken Day, on other edible days.
Lion and Chicken Day.
Lion Chicken Day. That's a very exotic meal. But
is the chicken lion or is the lion chicken? See?
this is, man, we're not supposed to do philosophical questions on the air like this. What we're supposed to do is talk to some amazing guests, and we're actually
Yes.
going to bring an amazing guest on for you right now. She is one of the stars of Utopia Falls, but as I said before, you've seen her in other great shows as well. Welcome back to the program, Kate Drummond.
Hey guys, how are you?
All right, how are you?
I'm great.
We
I'm
took
so
a long
great.
time to get there, but we finally got you on.
I'm so happy to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like, I'm guessing, was it 2014 was the last time we talked with you?
I think it was.
Yeah. That was back when you were doing the Tom Clancy video game.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, the Anna Grimm's daughter.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember. What an exciting time that was.
Definitely. But you got an exciting time going on right now as well. You get to play more of a villainous character in a show that I feel is like Divergent meets Fame meets So you think you've got talent.
There's a little Footloose in there.
Little Footloose, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so tell people about the show that haven't heard about it yet.
Okay, so basically, Utopia Falls is set in the not so distant future, and it's a young sort of adult sci-fi drama. The first ever performance-based sci-fi series, and it uses the power of music and dance and a variety of genres and pop culture themes to sort of celebrate youth activism and eco-awareness and all that stuff. But the point is, you've got these kids that are chosen from their sectors in this city called New Babel, and they're sort of the chosen talented ones that go to something called the Exemplar, and it's basically a talent competition that's voted on by the people. And so what happens to these kids as they are about to embark on their adventure in the academy, they discover a hidden archive of pop culture from the past that's been kept secret from them. So they have no concept of history that we know of, the various dance genres and styles and fashion and, activism from our past, any sort of pop culture relic they've had no access to. So all of a sudden their world is opened up and they learn, about themselves, about their what they stand for, what their truth is, as they discover this sort of new reality for themselves. So
yeah,
that was a really long answer, wasn't it?
No. You're giving us the deets.
You summed it up right there.
You broke it all down. You gave us the the explanation, which is good. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in this show, and one of those things, you're telling a very interesting story with what you talked about there, but your character, on the other hand, let's just say, is not a fan of some of this exploration that's going on.
Authority Phaedra is very much the John Lithgow of this story.
Authority Phaedra she is just warm and fuzzy, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Them so much.
Yeah. What a fun character to play. My character, Authority Phaedra, is the head of New Babel's police force. So she's basically the enforcer. So anything that questions, the laws and order, established norms of New Babel, Authority Phaedra's got an issue with. And we'll stop basically at nothing to make sure that the nation is controlled and following, status quo. So she's a spicy number, that Authority Phaedra.
Spicy, yep. That's she when she comes into a room, that's exactly what I think. It's like there's heat instantly in a room where she is. And yet, at the same time, icy coldness.
And then I immediately think after that, wow, she had to get up really early to get her hair like that.
Oh, my gosh. And you know what else? Head massages after I was done on set. Patricia, who did my hair, she would take her nails. She had these really long nails. And it took forever to do the hair. And it was very, very tight. And it had this very long extension braid going halfway down my back, which is not my real hair. And it was so tight that that's fine for an hour, but after 8 hours, it just made me a little bit more of a jerk because I was so irritated at the pain. So, but afterwards, Patricia would be like, oh, baby girl, you did so great. You're so great. I love you as Phaedra. And she'd be taking my hair out, and I'd be like, I love you, Patricia. Just run your fingers through my hair. And she would scratch my head. And, it was a real support network needed for that hairstyle. But it's perfect. The vision for Phaedra specifically is just, I feel, is just perfect. It's just enough to just make you a little uncomfortable. And I love, the first word that I say in the entire series is no. It's just so great. It basically sums up my character.
Well, no, for sure it does. And I just to go back to the head scratching. I got to say, I'm with you. It is one of the greatest feelings in the world. I don't have long hair and had to deal with braids like you were doing with with Phydra's costume and everything. But there's nothing better than having somebody put their fingernails through your scalp and just massage. It is a beautiful feeling. I'm telling you, like that is. Forget roses and whatever on Valentine's Day. By the way, happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Give me a head massage, and I am just so freaking happy. I mean, I'll pay whatever to have my hair cut 1,000 times a year just so someone will wash my hair. It's amazing. Well, that's also a great thing, is not having to wash your own hair. When I get my hair cut, I always get them to wash it because I'm just like...
I thought you were going to say that every day you have someone else wash your hair. I was like, really?
Wouldn't that be nice? I would. I totally would. You know, in a perfect world, you just roll out of bed. Someone says, here's your perfect breakfast, your perfect gluten-free breakfast. And then they escort you to your nice lounge chair where you tip back and then they give you a head massage. I mean, I've got big dreams. No, you know what? Keep dreaming that dream. That's a great dream.
I think if you're on the tribunal, that's part of the deal, isn't it?
That's going to be if we go season 2. That's going to be in my contract.
Yeah, there you go. But one thing I got to say about Authority Phaedra is that what an interesting backstory and origin, in the sense that not only does the character have an interesting origin, but then also on top of that her origin is like an urban legend among the people in the reform sector. Yeah. It's so, it's cool to have a character like that where they have given you that backstory to play off, as opposed to just coming in and, being the villain. The hope is that with every villain that you play, that you've got sort of that vulnerability to you, whether or not it's shown. You want to have that as an actor, just to sort of tap into something to kind of make that pit in your stomach swell a little bit, and kind of knock you off your balance a bit. I just, from the moment I read about, Authority Phaedra, from the moment I was given I was asked to tape for it, to audition for it, I was like, yeah, I can totally play this character. And so interestingly, it's so obviously, because it's a character and it's not me, Kate Drummond. It's so, the moral code is so different from me, but it's so fun to play characters like that, because, the greater the obstacle, the greater the antagonist, the more that your protagonists have something to work towards. It really raises the stakes when there's something looming and looming like Phaedra in the scene. So. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, because the Phaedra has all the cards. Yeah, she's basically like, anytime it looks like somebody's got a leg up on Phaedra, it's like, no, she was hiding something secret that she's got another ace up her sleeve to basically continue to be in control of the situation.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so. I just finished binge watching all 10 episodes. I'd seen the first half of the season, and I binge watched the rest today. And I was there was one part. I looked over at my partner and I went, "Oh my gosh, I am such an a-hole." And he starts laughing and he's like, "Yes, but it's so good," And I was kind of shocked at how much of an a-hole I was, and. But I kind of love it because, as I once heard, in order for them to love you, others must loathe you. So I thought, well, that's good. This is perfectly.
No, definitely. Yeah, Phaedra is definitely an asshole. I will agree with you on that.
Oh, 100%. And early on when Phaedra gets to do the interrogation room, the 2 interrogations,
which I like to think of as Phaedra's home away from home, because she has a lot of scenes in that interrogation.
Yeah. What was it like getting a chance to do something like that? Because obviously, what you're describing is, it's like she's so different than who you are. How did you approach those scenes and get into that headspace of being, in those rooms and being so intimidating? I channeled a lot of my teacher background from when I taught grade 6. And those were little jerks with hitting puberty and learning to, be disrespectful vocally all the time. As much as I loved my students,
But my grade 6s were always such little jerks because they were just coming out of their shell, right? And so they were really testing me. And so I had a lot of those moments of like, oh, okay, I know you think you know something, but I'm going to squash your dreams. But in a really friendly way. I mean, my students really did like me, and I promise you I was a really great teacher. But it was just sort of, I like to channel that, but I also, the way that I get into it is I think about something in my life that I would fight tooth and nail for. And it usually has something to do with animals and the treatment of animals, not to go into a deep area, but I literally think about something like that. What enrages me more than anything that I would walk into a stadium and tell everyone I will fight them over? Like, what is that thing? And it's usually, the mistreatment of animals and kids and injustices, right? So I just sort of well that up inside of me, and then I just go bang right into that interrogation room. But I'll tell you that interrogation with Bodhi and Aaliyah, with Akilla and Robin, I was warned about it. We had a read through for that episode, and Sutherland was our director, and he said, you better start learning these lines now, because, Phaedra is just so verbose. Like it was not easy. It was a lot of work. I'll just say it was a lot of work to learn the script for Phaedra. But that interrogation, I had them both in the room. So, it was really like, I was doing the interrogation to, with Bodhi, all the lines. And then even though I was talking to Aaliyah was in the corner throwing me lines, and it was so fast and intense, and all of us were just like, what is happening? And when we were done, we were elated because we were just flying through that scene. But it took everyone really being prepped and ready to go just to be able to fly, because you don't have a lot of time, right? Like that's a really long scene and it's really intricate, but you don't have a lot of time to shoot it. So you've really got to come ready to go. So, I really fed off, the performances of my fellow castmates for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I know that scene, especially with Bodhi, because like as Andrew was mentioning about Phaedra's backstory, like that's the scene, like that's the one where we learn it in such a a fun way, because as he's telling the myth, and then she's just kind of like, yeah, that's right, I recognize this, and it was like, I remember as I was watching it, there's like this sense of impending doom as I was watching it. I was waiting for her to like flip the table on him or something. Like it's just like there was something there, and it was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to be in that room. I don't want to be in that room. I don't want to be, it's like talking to you now. It's great. You're awesome. You're very personable and everything like that. But Phaedra, no. Your partner, right? Stay away from her.
So what's really funny is that, Mickey, who plays Mags, he said to me, we were doing a gallery shoot, and I walked into the room, and he said, you know what? He's like, I just instinctively clench when you walk into the room. I clench my butt when you walk into the room. And I looked at him, and I said, that's good. You should always, like it was just sort of, we had so much fun, like I just, it was just so much fun. But yeah, the whole sort of backstory of Phaedra and how that feeds, the story, especially the relationship with Bodhi and how similar they are and dissimilar. That was really, really fun to play with when working with Akilla, for sure. And, as far as the table flip, like I'm totally waiting for Phaedra to have a meltdown. Like she's so puckered up and contained, and, that's the sign of her strength, but there's got to be the kryptonite. And I think we're getting to what the source of the kryptonite is near the end of the season. Yeah. And, hopefully if we go to season 2, if we're fortunate enough to go there, I think, there's just so much more that can be explored with this whole, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that whole backstory informs the stuff in the back half as well about that kryptonite. Yeah. How those two things work together. It's like you're sitting there going, oh, okay, yeah, no, of course she'd be like that because she was like this back then. It's a very layered character, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Now, I heard in an interview recently somebody asked you who would win in a fight between Authority Phaedra and Agent Lucato from Winona, and you want to put that out to the fans? You want to throw it out on the Twitter?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the weekend for people to get caught up on Utopia Falls, and then I'm thinking of putting the poll out on Monday. I'm gonna say, who do they think would win, Locado or Phaedra? So who do you guys think would win?
Oh man.
See, I'm gonna have to go with Phaedra because she's cold as ice. Like Locado, scary, but Phaedra,
There's something about somebody who isn't violent instantly, and that just like there's that planning. I'm always afraid of people who are very like still and quiet, and then yet be menacing. That is not a good trait, I find, unless you're in law enforcement, which is then it's the perfect trait. But like, no, Phaedra, 100%.
As you can see, Mr. Green's really on edge after watching this.
That's like when you get in a fight with your loved one, and then all of a sudden you get the silent treatment, and you're like, no, something's brewing there. I'm gonna go for a walk. Something's up.
Yeah, that's
this is too calm.
That's what my mom used on me all the time. That's how I know. Like it puts me on edge. I'm not gonna lie.
There you
Even
go.
now,
So,
all these years later.
See, we're getting from Mr. Green's backstory on why that puts him on edge. There we go.
That's right.
Now, before we go here, I just wanted to bring up a tweet you put out on February 5th where you said, last night I had a dream that Zelda's your dog, that Zelda could talk. Best night ever. If my dream is a snippet of our shared psyche, we are literally the same person, but I already knew that. So, yeah, your dog Zelda, which of course featured very much so on your Instagram. So what was that dream like? Was it truly the best dream ever? Do you feel even closer now to Zelda?
It's such a deep conversation. How much time do you have? I do. I literally woke up and she was lying beside me, and I was like, I know you. I really know. You know me. Like we are the same. Like I literally felt like I had this surreal spiritual experience. It sounds so hokey, but like I don't even remember what we talked about. I just know we were talking, and it was just the best. And I was like, oh my God, I get it. I get you. You get me. We are good, because she's so mysterious. She's a crazy street dog from Mexico. She spent 4 years living on the streets, and God knows what she's seen. And then she comes into my house where I'm like, oh my God, you're my world. And she's like, what? In Mexico, we have a little bit of a space, you give me a little bit of space. And here I'm just like smothering her, and she's her own person. Like she's teaching me to be cool. It's weird. But it really was the best.
Well, that's awesome. That's great.
And I saw also on your Instagram that she's very helpful when you're meditating as well.
Oh my gosh. So it's so difficult for me to meditate because especially lately, because I've been just so excited about everything going on, and it's just I've got the yayas, and I was like, nope, I'm going to meditate, and I get everything set. She's walked, she's pooped, she's peed, she's eaten, everything's fine. The curtains are closed. She doesn't bark at the mail person, and so then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the dong goes on my meditation. I'm like, okay, I am so ready for this. I just need to be grounded. I need to calm my spirit. Just think about higher self. What messages do you want to send to me? And it's like, bark, 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 bark. And she's just going crazy. It's like someone's breaking into the house. So I call her to me, and she just jumped right beside me. It was so weird because she literally tapped into this chanting app that I was listening to, and I just had my hand on her, and she had her paw on my leg, and I had my one other hand on my heart, and I thought, I don't know what is happening right here, but it's pretty cool. And I ended up just laughing through the entire thing because I'd chant and say something, and then she'd like roll over and spread her legs, and I'd be like, no, we're not having tummy, whatever you're trying to get me to pet, I'm not petting, I'm trying to be, focus on my meditation. But she's pretty tuned in. She's a pretty intuitive animal for sure.
Yeah, what I get from all of this is that Zelda's your ride or die.
She's my ride or die. I love that.
All right, well, Kate, I want to thank you for coming on the program. It was great talking to you. We'll have to talk to you again and not wait like 6 years again to do it.
I know.
But yeah, I look forward to more projects coming from you.
Oh, thank you so much, and thanks for all your support and love. It's amazing. You guys are great, and lots of love to you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have yourself a great night.
You as well.
Thanks,
Bye.
Kate. Bye.
So that was Kate Drummond. You can catch her on Utopia Falls, which is streaming right now on CBC Gem and Hulu.
Hulu.
Hulu. Who knew? It's Hulu. All right, we're going to take a
Yeah,
commercial
this is their
break.
slogan.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be giving our review of Locke Key, a Netflix series
What?
from an IDW comic. Right
What?
here, Geek Card Red Radio 101.
We don't care who sees. So what we go out. Hey, let me get a lighter, please. Cause you know I'm high as fuck and I forgot one.
Hey folks, Andrew Young of Geek Card here with a very important message. If you like what we do, please help us out. Support us at patreon.com/geekcard. For just $1 a month, you'll get early access to podcasts and exclusive content, and you'll also be helping us continue to bring you this great product. We also have other packages at various price point levels. Check it out at patreon.com/geekcard for more.
Welcome back to Geek Card right here on Reality Radio 101. And now, right back to your geeks, Andrew Young and Mr. Green.
You know, I've been thinking about it.
What's that?
And ever since we started this series, it's been true. Aaron Ashmore, I just can't quit you.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
that's right. Because we're going to be reviewing Locke and Key, which Aaron does pop up in a
Yeah.
number of episodes. Locke and Key streaming on the old Netflix, created by Meredith Averill, Aaron Eli Collette, and Carlton Kuz. Based on the comic book by Joel and Gabriel Rodriguez. Produced by IDW Entertainment and distributed by Netflix. Before we get into this, I just want to mention, because I haven't mentioned it yet, in this segment, Derm Escape Rooms. You should check them out, dermescaperooms.com.
Absolutely. They're
Definitely.
the best.
Because you know what? This is kind of like a Derm Escape Rooms type show. It's a lot about like finding like mysteries and like a big house and getting stuck in it at points and trying to find a way out and things like that. Feels very much like the people at Derm Escape Rooms would really appreciate this show.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. But this show is about three siblings who move into their ancestral estate. Hey. Oh, the old man has joined us. Yeah. Can I try this TV stuff? I usually do the movies. Can I do the TV?
Yeah, I sure. Just remember, be brief.
Brief, got it. Okay. So here you go, man. All right. Three siblings. Well, that's like brothers and sisters. That's right.
Brief.
Who move into their ancestral estate after their father's murder. Now, you see, it's funny. If they tried to move into my ancestral estate,
Brief. Gotta say brief.
I'm still living there, right? So their father's murder, discover their new home's magical keys. What do they like sing? Which must be used in their stand against an evil creature. Whoa, this got interesting. Who wants the keys and their powers?
The magical keys wasn't interesting, but the creature was.
He's a big evil creature, you know. I've faced a couple of those in my day.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I got some ex-wives.
Some. You got like 50. That's more than some.
Most of them are dead, though. I didn't do it. Time did it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You just won't die.
That's right.
You're just forever.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm a dancer.
Oh, Jesus. What did I tell you about this? Brief.
That show Utopia Falls, I'm going to live through that.
Sure.
400 years from now, it's just going to be me and them. I'm going to say, hey, kids, I watched a show about this already.
You and Snoop Dogg.
But this is another show.
Yes.
On Netflix, right?
Yeah, so thank you for all your help.
I think we should let him go. Just keep talking about it. Oh, thanks. That's really
No.
nice.
No. Me and Andrew need to do a review now.
All right, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
All right, well, see you later, man. I think you really summed it up.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm going to dance out of here.
See you later.
Man.
What stuff to do?
It's stuff to do, eh?
We stand around. We're going to do stuff.
Okay. So let's do stuff.
All right.
What do you want to do? You want to talk about Locke Key?
Well, that's what we're here
There
for.
we go. So, yes, you watched Locke Key. What you think?
I really liked it.
All right, good. Go back in and
No.
have
I'm going to talk now forever. I'm just going to keep on talking and keep him off the air. That's what it's all about. I'm never going to stop. I'm just going to keep on talking about Locke and Key.
All right. Filibuster
Joe Hill,
over.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the show.
Joe Hill did this comic, and then now they bought it and Netflix has turned it into a show.
Yeah.
And the show is a lot of fun. It is a ton of fun. Now, I on Set the VCR, I had talked about we previewed this a little bit, and I was saying
your weekly column on television on our website, geekartshow.com.
Yeah, for picks. So I this was mine and Sammy's pick of the week, and my prediction was more correct than his, in my opinion. That it's Stranger Things meets Harry Potter, essentially. This is pretty much what it really is, and
you're a key holder, Harry.
Yeah. Key is the key keepers, or no, is the keeper of the keys? Sorry,
keeper of the keys. Yeah.
And it's just like as I was going through this, it was because you never know, because everything is going to be like hit and miss. Because Netflix, not everything is good. Let's face facts. Not everything they do is good.
That's actually their slogan.
Yeah, that's it. Not everything we do is good.
Netflix. Not everything we do is good. Please subscribe.
Yeah, we roll the dice a lot. No, but I think this has a good pedigree. The comic was well loved, for the years before this. Joe Hill, of course, has he's got a bit of a pedigree, not only with his own work, but of course, from his dad as part of this, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny when you see him show up in the show near the end. I'm just like looking at him. I'm like going, yeah, you look more like your dad every damn day.
No, because at first I thought it was like they went back in time and grabbed his dad.
Right?
Because I was like, oh my god.
It looks like him.
This looks like the cameos that King would do back in the day.
Yeah, like right at a creep show.
when
he's like the farmer. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we got an email from Elise B who says, I don't know, so many movies and TV shows about haunted houses, keys, locks, etc. over the years. Nothing to see here, folks. Boring. We need something new. A new idea. My rating, a 3.
Woo!
Wow. Well, it's not really about a haunted house.
That's Elise is coming in with a hot take.
Yeah.
Coming in with the 3.
3. Wow.
Rolling low.
That's
okay.
That's all right.
You know what? It didn't work for you, and I understand that there are shows that don't work for me. The shows that are well liked and respected, that just I'm like,
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like, well, back in the day when Adrienne Crest used to be on here all the time, she's always talking about The Good Wife and
then The Good Fight.
Yeah, that one too. I couldn't. Anyways, those ones, and it's just like
she only likes shows that good is in the
yeah.
title. She's also a big fan of Good Place as well.
No, The Good Place is good. That's a good show. 100%.
Good Place, good show.
Good Place, good show. That's it. But no, there's just some shows that just don't hit with us.
But with the Locke and Key, though, what I think the key to the Locke and Key.
Oh, I'd say, yeah.
Not even attempted. It just happened. It just happened, folks. You saw it right before your eyes and ears. And that is the key to this show is the casting. I think the 3 siblings were the key to it. The casting of the 3 siblings were spot on, in my opinion. I have actually never read the comic.
Right.
But I immediately gravitated. I knew what these kids were about, and I really found them believable in their positions. Which got now that the Bodie, played by Jackson Robert Scott, he's not a kid that's in real life, but he's a kid in a lot of literature. So like I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like you will never meet this kid in real life, but you will meet this kid in a million books from when you were a kid. You know?
Oh no, totally. Yeah. It was just nice to see Jackson Robert Scott, who plays Bodie. Just see him do something other than scream in it a lot. Because I was like, as he was talking, I was like, I really recognize his voice. Like there's something about
something makes me want to see this kid float.
Yeah. But no, it was as you go through and you go through the experiences with this family, it was I was just drawn in. For me, it drew me into the story. Everything about this was like right up my alley. But this is not as surprising, like I like things like Stranger Things, Super 8, like any Goonies to some degree.
Well, you don't really like Goonies.
Yeah, I said some degree.
Some degree. Okay.
Let me finish the sentence. I was getting to some degree.
Okay.
but I kind of like these types of stories because they're fun, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
because let's face, as you said, nobody's youth is like this. Nobody's childhood has these types of adventures.
Magical keys? No, definitely not.
Not that part. Just like these, like really like I did some crazy shit as a kid, but not on these levels, right? Like,
Yeah. You know what these shows are missing to really capture the kid experience?
what's that?
The swear words. But
So yeah,
but it's funny because Bill J wrote in and he really misread you at the beginning of this because he starts with agreed with Mr. Green. We already have a Harry Potter. Enough already. I watched 5 minutes of it and turned it off a 1. So he really didn't catch where you were coming from at the beginning.
that's okay. Bill's entitled to it.
Oh, of course, Bill's entitled to.
And I get it. And honestly, now for me though, unlike Bill, I don't turn things off like right away. I have with TV, I have a hard and
you
fast
have the 3-episode rule, isn't it?
3-episode rule. I have to go through 3 episodes, unless the only time that I break that rule is I like in Bill's case, clearly he hated it, so turn it off.
Yeah. Now Carla P, who just wrote in, hers is a little bit higher praise. She says, "Hey Andrew, I disagree with you regarding casting. Could have been better. However, the cast did a good job. I would rate it a 4. It was kind of way fake."
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I guess the magical key part would be the really fake part, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
for me, again, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it. I'm looking forward to more of it.
Now
'cause-
the Tom Savini fan, that's Javi, right? Is Javi this Tom Savini?
No,
fan?
no. It's
Who's
Scott.
Scott, right. There we go. Scott, yes. Scott that's a character that I expect to pop up in these types of shows. And thankfully, those types of characters can go one of 2 ways. Really fucking annoying or endearing. Thankfully, Scott was the endearing type.
Was he though?
I found him endearing.
I liked Patrice Jones who plays him. There's moments where I'm just like, I don't know. And there was like, well, as you watch the 10
Were
episodes.
you constipated while you were watching
I totally
it?
was.
Okay.
No, as I'm watching it too, I was like, okay, which way? Because there was only 2 directions he can go, as far as I'm concerned, and they didn't go the other direction. Now that's because another character does, so I'm okay,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, as we're going through, like you brought up Javi and was it Bing, or I forget the other buddy's name now. It's Brinker. Those 2 guys, I don't think they were necessarily needed.
No, they weren't.
Because they didn't. Now, unless maybe in season 2 they maybe break out and do something else with them, maybe. But the one thing I will say about the show as a detriment, as far as my liking of the show, is that it took so long for the keepers of the keys to get together.
See, that didn't bother me too much. I was okay with it.
My problem with all of this type of entertainment, this specific type, this like
Key-based entertainment.
for sure the magic key based entertainment. It's a very niche market. No, like anything that has to do with youth adventure like this, especially like with a secret of any kind,
Yeah.
is how long it takes for them to tell their friends. I'm sorry. Like it's fucking first day.
Yeah, but that's you, though. There's things I haven't told you about the magical things that I know, and I've known you for years.
You're a goddamn liar. No, seriously, most people are going to get into it right away. They need to tell people, right? And communication, I get it, the drama part of it, but the communication is always the thing that always kind of like, although I was happy that they had a really good logical explanation for why the parents and the adults in the story are not completely in the story.
Yeah, how they're almost unawares. We got an email from Chris L. who says, I would rather watch a Geek Hard show on Netflix. I would too. I think that would be an amazing show.
Yeah.
I think if we reviewed Geek Hard show on Netflix, 10s. Just emails, tons of 10s coming in. Well, we had a show once. It didn't go great. But anyways, it says, I'd rather watch Geek Hard show on Netflix. As Green says, a lot of cast members not needed. I agree. My rating, 5. So let's just actually see what your rating is. Would you say stream it, watch it, binge it, or would you be like, skip it and watch something else?
Between watch it and binging is kind of where I'm sitting right now. For me personally, it was a binge thing, partly because I needed to watch it for this week, and that's just the way my life works.
That's how it goes, yeah.
But no, in fairness, I got into binging it right away because I just couldn't help myself. I was just
for me, it was an engaging story. I just really liked it.
There was a lot of things where it's like, yeah, you could probably cut out like some stuff here once, every once in a while. Yeah, sure, maybe, but some of the melodrama that was going on, like especially with Ellie early on. That was
but that's the thing. If you're doing a thing about teenagers, you got to have melodrama.
I know, but the stuff with Ellie early on was just kind of like, but then it pays off later. So it's kind of like you do have to sit through it to get there.
Mm-hmm. No, totally. Yeah, I'd say definitely check it out. Check it out. It's available right now on Netflix. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about another Netflix series that we talked about a little bit before on the show. We're going to talk about it again here with one of the actors, Praneet Akilla from October Faction, right here, Geek Rad Radio 101.
Durham Escape Rooms, one of the GTA and Durham region's top escape facilities with 10 games filled with excitement, fun, and thrills as you race the clock to your ultimate victory. Bring your family or friends, celebrate a birthday or first date or an anniversary, or try working together with coworkers during a corporate team building exercise. To make a reservation, visit www.durhamescaperooms.com or call 905-430-LOCK. That's 905-430-5625. Durham Escape Rooms. Can you escape?
Welcome back to Geek Hard right here on Reality Radio 101. And now, right back to your geeks, Andrew Young and Mr. Green.
Hey, everybody. Andrew Young and Mr. Green here. A very important message. We're back from commercial break.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Did you enjoy that commercial break, Mr. Green?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Get a lot accomplished there?
I did. I was actually watching some more television, in between.
What a surprise.
That was in between, not during the show. You were saying during the show. What I do on my commercial breaks is all on me. I'm allowed to do what I want.
Within reason.
No. I can do whatever I want. It's my time. That's my time. Not your time, my time.
It's your time over there.
Now, during the show, that's our time, and we got to respect our boundaries.
It's
that's
our
totally
time
different.
over here.
Yeah, I know. You got to be professional. Got to do your thing. That's the way it works.
There you go.
But in the commercial breaks, that's my time.
Wow, you're getting really testy tonight.
No,
I'm
I'm lining up the boundaries.
Did you drink a lot of caffeine today? Is that?
I might have.
Yes, I'd say it's like. Did someone switch out your Diet Cokes for just straight up Cokes?
No, I Mountain Dew Max or no Red Code. Was it Red Code? Is it Code
Red?
Code Red,
which has the distinct taste of red.
Yes, red has flavor.
Yes, it's that red flavor.
Yes.
Oh my God. So of course, for the past number of weeks, we've been talking about October Faction, which is on the Netflix. Also based on an IDW released comic.
That is true.
IDW Entertainment, they're really getting in there. They're really doing the Netflix stuff. They're like, those Marvel kids are gone. We're going to
It's our yard.
It's our yard now. We're bringing the comic-based programs out. And, we've actually gotten to talk to a number of cast members so far. J.C. McKenzie was on the show. Gabriel Darku was also on the show. And now we get to actually talk to someone who had a lot of scenes with Gabriel.
Yes.
And that is Praneet Akilla. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Well, thank you for coming on. Of course, you play Philip on October Faction, and this is your first big TV role, correct?
Yeah, it is. It's my, first big break, you could say. Yeah, I was kind of doing lots of theater in Canada, professional theater. Hadn't done much film and television, and then the script came along, the audition came along, and something about the character kind of just spoke to me, and I just kind of fell in love with the material, and one thing led to another, and then now the show's out, everybody seems to be loving it, and very, very grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, and it's we've talked about it on the show for the past few weeks. It's a show about monster hunters coming back to a town of their origin and finding out not everything is as it seems. But, you know, on one end, you've got that story, but on the end that you're more involved in, you've got kind of like high school drama and like people coming to terms with who they are and dealing with LGBTQ stuff. A lot of like very much like down to earth stuff. It feels like this show does a really good job of balancing both the fantasy and the reality.
I think that's a credit to Damien Kindler, the showrunner, and the staff, the writing staff. You know, it's sort of very easy to, especially specifically with this type of IP. You know, you look at like a graphic novel, and it's beautifully illustrated and written by Steve Niles and Damien Worm, and it can be very easily fit into that category of sci-fi action. And we could have spent a lot of time focusing on a lot of the monster fights and all of those things as well, which there's plenty of in there. And but I do think why I fell in love with it and why a lot of the cast and crew also fell in love with it was the honest stakes that were in it regarding the characters, and it's at the center of it. The core of Oxford Perfection really is a family drama and relationships and you know, how we sort of view each other in day-to-day lives and how we deal with each other. And so I think the writing staff did a really good job of balancing tonally what the show is. On one end, it's sort of Men in Black meets Supernatural. But on the other end, it's at its heart, it's a family drama, and specifically with Philip Misher's character, I think, you know, yes, there's monster hunting going on, but also if you look at it, really, the messaging. I mean, there's a lot of sort of poignant social commentary as well. As you mentioned, LGBTQ rights, you know, privilege, discrimination, our own subconscious sort of prejudices that we carry in society every day, how we judge people. And so, you know, all of that, luckily it's not too heavy-handed. You know, it comes sort of with a light-handed approach with some of the action sequences and the comedy. But I think the show doesn't work if it doesn't have that sort of that messaging behind it as well. And so I think the writers did a tremendous job.
Yeah, you know, and that's you know, that's a really big point about the show, especially with your character of Philip, because when I look at his arc across that first season, it's a very interesting arc because he starts off as, well, an asshole, moves into, you know, a very sympathetic and, you know, personable character. You realize part of why he was being an asshole early on. And then by the end of it, involved in the monster hunting. Like it's like you get this path with Phil, you know, and I was just like, I'm just curious about that for you when you were reading it. Like, were you excited that you were going to get to go like across all of these different areas, you know, of being an asshole, being a sympathetic character, and then also finally getting to be in on some of the big action sequences? I
was extremely excited. You know, it's an actor's dream, really. You want to be able to exhibit your range. You want to be challenged by a role, and not only that, as an actor of color, you know. I'd sort of gotten to the point where I was reading for a lot of stereotypical one-dimensional type of roles. And for the first time, I got a script where Philip Misher, the character, his ethnicity had nothing to do with the storyline. On top of that, he happened to be an LGBTQ representative character. And on top of that, also, I think when I had a conversation with Damien early on in the process, he did mention to me that specifically a lot of the characters subverted expectations. That who they were in episode 1, by the time we got to episode 10, they were completely different people. And again, that was sort of to hammer home that, you know, people aren't what they seem on the outside. You know, there's more to people on the inside. And I think sort of seeing that character arc written throughout the episodes for Philip really excited me as an actor. And also on top of that too, like it's you know, it's very easy for shows like this to sort of, I don't know, a lot of the situations that I see, you know, they're not really realistically represented. And what I found really beautiful about this show is the answers to people's problems, the answers to questions were sort of organically revealed. The characters sort of kind of took their time to come to the conclusions that they came to, and Philip's journey is just so beautiful, beautifully written. Specifically, the twist. I won't give away, you know, anything because for the people who haven't watched it, any spoilers or anything, but for his character, that there's a particular moment in episode 4 that I was blown away by, and had to tap into something emotionally as well. So, it definitely excited me.
All right, well, I got to ask you a hard-hitting question. I asked this to Gabriel. I'm going to ask it to you. I think it's really important because at the end of the season, this is all I was thinking. Is Philip ever going to properly teach Jeff how to cook breakfast? Because it seems like Jeff is totally lost there at the end.
I hope so. It's really funny. You know, you'd think the easiest part of the breakfast is actually cracking the egg. You know?
Yeah.
You would think that would be the easiest part, but unfortunately, Jeff is limited in those skills as well. Unfortunately, I don't know how. He's a warlock, but he can't crack an egg, so go figure.
So-
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too. Along with breakfast, many other things, which you know, hopefully, cross fingers, if the season 2 comes along, there's some cool storylines with Philip that I might be privy to, but I can't say.
Of course.
We get that.
We don't want to get you in trouble. Don't worry. We know that the Netflix assassins are everywhere. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. Like, I'm looking at, you know, when you look at Philip, it's like, I really liked, because that early on, I need to go back to it, is like early on, you know, he's around and in the background, and I was like, you know, I was pleasantly surprised at how, like, as you mentioned, how organically things played out throughout this series, not only with his character, but like other characters in the show. And it's a testament to you guys, and you know, and like talking to cast members like yourself is like how much you guys really enjoy the project and like seem to like each other and everything. I think that's awesome. Like that you guys seem to have so much fun while you were on set.
It was a family. It really, honestly was, and I can say from my perspective, you know, coming onto a big set for the first time, because I've never really kind of worked on a set this big before, whereas other actors kind of had. I can say for a newcomer, it was incredible. Like I was. You know, like anything, I'm always nervous on the first day, but each and every single cast and crew member welcomed me with open arms, specifically with me and Gabriel Darku, who plays Jeff. You know, it was important that we establish a chemistry from day one, you know, but more importantly than that, I think outside of set, it's important that we establish a camaraderie as well. And those things, you know, sometimes can be forced, but luckily with me and Gabe, I think we just sort of hit it right off the bat. We are both sort of these weird introverts that love performing, you know. It's sort of a weird walking contradiction, but we do, and then we sort of hit it off that way. We share a lot of the similar interests. You know, we go see a lot of movies together in Toronto, and we also trained with the same acting coach as well. So, you know, Gabe really sort of welcomed me because he's a Toronto local, and I'm sort of in Vancouver. And so he kind of, you know, he helped me integrate myself into the community, and I can't thank him enough for it. And we had so much fun, and I really, really hope going forward, you know, this is always going to be the benchmark for me in terms of how well cast and crew gels along on any project really going forward.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And the chemistry is very much, it comes off the screen, especially near the end where you got to be Jeff's blocker and get him through that hallway. That seemed like a very big bonding moment. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's so funny to me because I'm so not like a jock in my life, you know?
Yeah, you're like a chemical engineer, aren't you?
I am. I'm a musical theater nerd and a chemical engineer is what I am.
So playing a football player makes perfect sense.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Yeah. And it's so funny. Like all my friends and family, they keep like messaging me, laughing about that scene because they're just like, "You are so not a football player."
Well,
it's so
you
funny.
can't
I'm
tell.
like, well, I'm an actor, so I can be a chameleon and I can change. And yeah.
That's right. No, well, it came off very well on the screen, and I think you guys had a great first season, and I hope you guys get a second season because I look forward to more.
Thank you guys so much.
All
Really,
right.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on the program, sir. Come back anytime you want.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. So that was Praneet Akilla, who you can see in October Faction, streaming now on Netflix.
Yeah, you know, I was down on Phil at the beginning of the series, and now I'm.
Oh, Phil really turns a corner.
Yeah. No, like as it goes on, it's like they kind of really expand on who he is and what he's all about, and I was like, yeah, this is a character
You can get behind, definitely.
Yeah, and that was a boomerang action for me. I was
There
just
you
like,
go.
I was just like, no, yep,
There you go.
that's how it works.
It's a no yap.
Yeah, no, yep.
All right, well, now we come to the end of the old program. Mr. Green,
Yep.
where can people find us?
Well, as always, if you like what we do here, you can always help support us over at patreon.com/geekcard. Little as $1 a month, as Andrew mentioned earlier in the show, can really help us out. For everybody who does it right now, thank you.
Thanks.
And if you're not doing it right now, we thank you, too, for listening every week, because, of course, that's awesome.
But some money would be nice.
That was mercenary if I've ever heard it. The most you'll ever be. Bonus content is always available through YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Yes, even Pinterest. Search Geek Card Show on any of those platforms, and you will find us. Of course, check out our website, geekcardshow.com, for more news, reviews, and, of course, the podcast version of this very show, which is available on Mondays after 2 p.m. Of course, you don't listen to us live. The best way to ensure you get to hear us is to subscribe.
Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Tuned In, iTunes, wherever you catch your pods, and please, please, please leave a 5-star rating and review. You're fired.
Wow, that's very angry.
Now I got very Vince McMahon.
Yeah, well, there's that too. No, that's a different story. And of course, you just want to email us at geekhardshow@gmail.com.
I want to thank Praneet, Akilla, and Kate Drummond for coming on the program. For Kate Drummond, for Utopia Falls, for Praneet, Akilla, for October Faction, for Locke Key, for all them streaming services, for Mr. Green, and for Yuri in the booth. This is Andrew Young saying, if you're gonna geek out, you might as well geek hard on Reality Radio 101.
Thank you for listening to Geek Hard with your hosts, Andrew Young and Mr. Green, right here on Reality Radio 101.